Hi, everyone. Doug Grant here. Super excited to be with you for this webinar. We just got off a webinar with the doctors around the nation, talking to them about some exciting things that are happening, giving a little preview of this webinar, and talk to them about the big seminar they're going to be coming to next month here in Phoenix. So we'll have hundreds of doctors from all over the world. This is one of the subjects we're going to be talking about. And so really excited that you're here with us, along with the health professionals that are coming in. And so as you're coming on, if you would please go into the webinar chat and just type your name. So Jill and where you're from, right? Texas, whatever it might be, whatever state you're from. And just so that we make sure that the chat's working. So as we get toward the end here, we'll be able to open up for questions and answers. Again, the webinar chat, click on it and type your name and say where you're from. Okay, appreciate you. Janelle, Las Vegas, how you doing? Carmen, Idaho, Mark, Utah. Awesome. Thanks for being there. Candace, Ohio. Appreciate you being on. Seeing people are coming on now. Awesome. Colorado, Castle Rock, Washington. And got a few people back east, man. I feel for you all. Man, I hope you're making it through. That's some tough weather back there. And yeah, we just hope that everyone's safe. And so as everyone's coming on, hope everyone had a blessed Christmas, and they're looking forward to a nice, healthy, happy new year, setting goals, being able to stick with it. We're going to be talking about that research here and what you can do to make this year different. And as the last few people are coming on from the waiting room, one of the things that was exciting in a podcast the other day was they were talking about looking at why you didn't stick with whatever goals you made for last year. So last year at this time, the New Year's resolutions, they talked about the importance of taking a look at those things that you didn't follow through with and simply ask why. Not beat yourself up, just say why. What was it? What triggered me to get off of that eating plan, that exercise, that commitment to go where was the shelters, to the at work, doing different things, whatever the goals were. Just having an honest evaluation and saying, what was it that threw me off track? What was that trigger? And evaluating that and maybe focusing your New Year's resolutions towards that thing that throws you off every time, and fixing it. And just fixing that trigger might be the difference maker. So kind of a fun thing to think about. And appreciate you guys again. Oh, Miramar, Florida. Thank you for being with us, Kiwana. And we'll get started. So today, we're going to be talking about some new research on what makes it so that you fall off the deep end when it comes to trying to eat healthy, and also some of the research to show the importance of taking in certain microflora, microbiome to help with longevity and to be able to help the mind think clear and with more acuity. And so we're going to be talking about some of that today too. So let's jump right into it. Most of you know me. I'm Doug Grant, formulator, founder here at OHS, and done a lot of work with professional sports and athletes over the years, and with thousands of doctors. And so really excited to be able to be here with you and to be able to share this information today. And it's saying that the audio is a bit low. Let me see if I can work on that right now while we're talking, and see if I can help with that. There you go. Turn this up. There. Let us know if that helps a bit. And we'll keep going. All right. So the top US New Year's resolutions for 2022. So this just last year was interesting. It was to exercise more, to eat healthier, to lose weight. And then it was spend more time with family. And so a lot of people will say, well, hey, that's a contraindication. How can you spend more time with family and, work to lose weight and to eat healthier and exercise more? Well, the truth of the matter is you actually gain more time by being a bit more selfish on your exercise and eating healthier and losing weight. We were talking to the doctors a few minutes ago that it's actually more selfish in a bad way to not focus on exercising and eating healthy. A lot of people say, well, I'm really thinking about others. You're not, because the research shows that the healthier you are, that the more time you have to be able to help others and be with your family, because you're more present. Your presence determines how present you are. And so it really is important. I really want you to make that mind shift that if you focus on yourself and on your health this year, this coming year, that you actually will have more time and be able to be more present with those you love. So it's actually being selfish not to focus on these things because you're taken away from them. Something to think about, okay? So we know the New Year's resolutions. And here's why the New Year's resolutions are what they are. They're actually right, believe it or not. This is the resolutions most people should have. Why do we know that? We know that because the obesity rates continue to trend up in the United States today. We're up over 42%. African Americans is 49%. Different groups are higher. This is the lowest percentage, right? It's 42% higher of people are obese, and it's causing major issues as far as pain, not just pain individually, but pain to families, the pain on the healthcare system. It causes a lot of more than just the pain that you think of when we're talking about obesity, and even the mental issues that are coming from it, because the average person's gained almost 20 pounds from COVID. So it's a major issue. And the thing is that most of the time it's not talked about a lot, right? Doctors with patients, they kind of skip over it. Patients have aches and pains, and then the doctor doesn't mention, well, it's probably because there's a little excess body fat in that. They don't want to offend people. And we don't want to offend people, but we truly want to help them. And I'm here to tell you that I care enough about you that I want to help you so much that one of the major problems and causes of disease today is excess body fat. It should be one of our major goals for the year, but it's going to help you achieve it, and to do it in a way that you're going to be able to overcome those demons in the past, the things that made you give into those cravings, and be able to give you some tools to be able to make it past that, okay, to be able to succeed. And so the known factors to be healthier, everyone knows them, right? To eat and exercise better consistently. That is the secret sauce. And it's not so secret. We all know it innately. We all are told it all the time. To eat and exercise better, but not just eat and exercise better, but do it consistently. Consistently is the key. We know that if you eat healthier consistently and you exercise consistently, your body's going to respond. We know it absolutely every time, not sometimes, every time. Now, if in doing that, maybe you don't lose fat as fast, there could be nutrient factors involved. If you don't gain muscle strength as fast, there might be other factors involved because of our aging and different things and hormonal imbalances. So there's a lot we can do to speed the process up as you're eating healthier and exercising, but it still comes down to doing it consistently. But there's one other factor that's not talked about, and that is the need to reprogram your cravings. Now, what do I mean by that? We know that the major reason that people fall off the bandwagon with their New Year's resolutions that have to do with health, with I'm going to eat healthier, I'm going to get off the junk food, I'm going to quit drinking as much alcohol, carbonation, right? The cakes and donuts, whatever it might be, that those goals that they have, the main reason they fall off those goals is they give in to cravings. They give in to cravings. In other words, they're somewhere at some place they had no intention to falling off the deep end and eating that whole gallon of ice cream, the Big Mac, the fries, whatever it might be. They didn't have an intention to, but they got in a situation and they gave into those cravings. Well, the neat thing is that research is now letting us know why that happens and what you can do to fix that. So those little times, those times when you had that choice to make and you made the wrong choice and you fell off, that now you're going to get that extra little boost, that extra little strength, so that you're able to stay strong, that you're able to stick with your commitment, with your New Year's resolution, to be able to reduce that body fat and be able to make it happen. Okay, so let's go through some of that research. So it's not always your fault. So now, do we end up doing it? Do we end up eating that cake? Absolutely. But is it you that truly is at fault? Your human, your skin, your bones, your tissue, your blood. It's not. And this is a secret that I actually used in the NBA for years, because teams would call and say, hey, we have this athlete that we've tried everything to help him reduce body fat and it's not working. And we heard you're the guy. And I'd go in. And so I didn't share what I'm sharing with you now back then, because I wanted to be able to be the main guy in the NBA and the nutritionist throughout the teams. But I'm sharing with you now. And that is that I knew a secret that they didn't know. I knew that what was causing those cravings with the athletes and with the owners and the public, it wasn't just them. It was something inside them that was craving those foods. And that if we went in and fixed that, all of a sudden they were able to overcome those issues. So what is it? What is it that is stopping you, that is making it so you don't stick to your decision to stop eating junk food and exercise regularly, it's bacteria. Now, for those of you that went to college, you remember that we were told that our bodies are made up of about 10% bacteria, 90% of us is human tissue and that. Well, now we know since they've been able to, since we've been able to break down, DNA, we've also done the same thing with the microbiome, that we've been able to go in and genetically take a look at it and break it down. And we've got a better understanding really of the makeup of the human body. And we now know that we're actually 50% human, if you would, right? Tissue, and we're 50% bacteria. Now, isn't that pretty crazy? 50% of our body is bacteria. Now, hopefully most of that's friendly bacteria, but it's all types of bacteria. And the research is really strong on that, letting us know the number of human and bacterial cells in the body. So this isn't a guess. This isn't just something like throwing that out there. That's absolute research. And we know that the friendly bacteria that inhabits our gut, that there's a direct connection from our gut up to our brain. And it's through a nerve system that doesn't go to any other places in the body, that it's straight from the gut. The gut has a signal and it goes straight to the brain. You've heard of people talking about a gut feeling, right? That feeling in the gut reaction, all that. There's a lot of truth to it because the gut sends those signals to the brain, and that's what we think and that's what we crave. Now, there's different research studies out there today. One's on the gut-brain axis. That's what we're just talking about, using the vagus nerve of going up from the gut to the brain. And then also some studies out now on psychobiotics, on how your friendly bacteria or even the non-friendly bacteria that are in your bowels and your gut affect what you crave, and your mind, your thoughts, your mental aspect, your acuity, your cognition, in other words, your ability to think clearly and to be able to function properly. A lot of that comes from your gut. Okay, so the research is so crazy on it. I won't spend a lot of time on it, but I want to let you know this is not opinion. This is not opinion. You can see the picture over here of the vagus nerve as it goes from the gut all the way up to the brain. It's a two-way communication between the gut and the brain. And I quoted all the research studies on here so that you can know that on the vagus nerve. Okay. And we know that the indigenous bacteria from the gut regulate serotonin. What does that mean? Serotonin is a happy chemical. It really affects our mood. It lets us be happier. And if we have serotonin, but 90% of the serotonin in the body is actually created from the friendly bacteria in the gut. So the healthier your gut, the healthier the friendly bacteria are, and the stronger they are, the more serotonin, the friendly chemical to keep us happy, is being created. Okay. And so we know that that's an important factor here. And part of the being happy is also having a positive outlook on life and being able to attack things in a great positive way. Like, I'm going to accomplish this today. I'm going to own the day. A lot of that comes from serotonin that's created in your bowel, in your gut. Okay. So it's also, if we don't have the shortage of it, can cause depression, a depressed mood, low energy, negative thoughts, tense, irritability, all of those things, anxiety even, from low serotonin levels. We know this from integrative psychiatry, some studies that were done there, and absolute exciting information for us. Okay. And so this is some things from the study. I just want to point out that 90% of the body's 5-HT synthesized in the gut, a hormone that helps with the brain and be able to stick to our diets. In the study, it also talks about that the microbiome, the friendly bacteria, we call probiotics in the gut, they're under what's called selective pressure to manipulate the host. Okay, do you see that over here? What that means is this, is that they were raised on certain foods, and some of those foods might be junk food, and they want to live. And so they'll manipulate the host, you, to crave those foods because they think, man, without those bad foods, or eating the Twinkies or whatever it is, right? Without those, we'll die. And so we are going to send these signals up to the vagus nerve, to the brain, to say, we want more of the cake, the ice cream, right? The donuts, whatever it might be that they were raised on. So whatever you ate over Christmas, right? So they're craving that, and it makes it tough for you, to be able to stick with your New Year's resolutions to eat healthier. Okay. So super important to know that that's what's happening in the gut. Okay. And they're easily manipulated from the bad standpoint. In other words, they can be like, hey, we want these bad foods, and make you crave them, but they can also be manipulated the other way. In other words, that we can feed them healthier foods and get other bacteria in there. And now all of a sudden, the cravings are going to be for healthier things. So we can actually turn that in our favor. Okay, so super important that we know this. And a lot of the studies, just real quick on this, was pretty crazy. They were actually doing these transplants, fecal transplants, and they took from someone that was obese and put in someone that was thin, and the thin person started gaining lots of weight because the bacteria they put in them was craving the bad foods, and they craved these bad foods. This thin person did, and they got fat, and they're like, wait, what if we did the opposite? So they did the opposite, and the person lost the weight. And that's what started the research into really checking out the microbiome and trying to figure out what the heck's going on there. And so it was a pretty crazy, one of those crazy things that happened that actually opened the door to a whole new group of research and study. But we know that this happens, but here's the exciting thing on top of that. On top of that is we know what friendly probiotics, which bacteria crave the healthier food. We know which ones are supposed to be in your gut. My original mentor was Kim Shahani. He was world's leading authority on probiotics, University of Nebraska. I spent many years with him. And we took a look at the gut and said, okay, the certain families of probiotics, one was called an Acidophilus family, reside here, and you need this type and this much. The Bifidus family, another type of probiotic that resides in the gut, does this. Another one, Thermophilus, and all these ones, like each bacteria family does a different thing. Like Thermophilus makes lactase so that you're not lactose intolerant. Acidophilus helps with your immune system. Okay. And so all these Streptococcus, all these other ones are there to do certain things in the body. And so we know the names of all these bacteria. We know what forms they should be in. We know what they need to look like and how they need to be cultured and fermented to be able to get in through the gut, past the acidity, and be able to, through the mouth, past the acidity of the stomach and into the gut to colonize. And that's one of our specialties. And that's why we're able to help you with this situation right now, to be able to reduce your cravings, to be able to help you so that as you set those goals and you go strong and you start eating healthy, that you're able to get over that hump, that you don't give in because you have these friendly bacteria that are now craving the right foods. And so I hope you're with me on that. So part of fitness, of being able to really reach optimal levels of health, longevity, is to have a proper mindset. We call it focused, intense thought. Also important to have the nutrition, the exercise, and the specific supplementation. So we need the whole thing. And that's why fitness is the acronym we use. So look at some of these studies. And this is why the new research is really strong. It used to be that we believed and were taught in school that a calorie is a calorie is a calorie. In other words, it didn't matter if that calorie came from an unhealthy food or a healthy food, it's still a calorie, a kcal, right? Because it's a measurement of heat. Well, although it's still a measurement of heat, and you can say a calorie is a calorie, we've known now that a highly processed calorie, in other words, foods that are highly processed, that they actually cause more weight gain, they actually cause more blood sludge, they actually cause more toxicity to the system than a same amount of calories from whole foods and healthy foods. And it used to be that people would say, it doesn't matter, you could eat it a Big Mac or a regular a healthy sandwich, and it doesn't matter. It does matter. It matters in a big way. And finally, the last 3 years, the research has come out and really proven what we've known and taught all along, is that heavily processed foods cause overeating and weight gain. So they cause that. And one of the reasons they cause that is they manipulate the friendly bacteria, the microbiome. And so they start craving more of these synthetic processed foods. And so you overeat. Remember the original study where they did the fecal transplant into the lady and she gained all this weight? Processed foods are doing the same thing. They're manipulating the host and having you crave ravenously these foods. So you're drinking the sodas, you're eating these foods, you're going to crave more of them. But it was built into it. That's how processed food companies and fast food companies make their money. They want you to crave more and more. If you're satisfied a long time, you won't keep buying the product. So the research really pointed this out and made it really exciting for us to know this. And it's important. I want you guys to realize that you can overcome this, but you have to see that the research is there. Okay, the research is there. And we know that the increase of cardiovascular disease, heart disease, cerebrovascular disorders are all increased from eating highly processed foods, okay? And this study was done over 105,000 people. So this is a really well done study talking about it. And another large study showed that eating more than 4 servings of processed food a day was linked to an increased risk of all-cause mortality. Now, what does that mean? What that means is that your chances of getting a major disease and dying young increases 18% for every serving over 4 you eat of a processed food a day. What is a serving? A serving would be a little bag of processed potato chips. Okay, the small single bags, that's a serving, right? It can be a small soda. Now, the large ones are usually 2 or 3 servings. And so any processed food that doesn't come from nature, think about it. How many people, most people, they eat 6, 7, 8 servings of those a day because that's mostly what the food that they eat. And they're increasing their risk of disease 18% after the 4th serving. And even the 4 servings themselves aren't healthy for you. So the research study was really straightforward with this. It was telling us ultra processed foods cause these problems and increased to 18% all the way through. The higher consumption of ultra processed foods was 62% relatively increased hazard for all-cause mortality. So basically 4 servings, you have a 62% higher chance of dying young and getting disease, and then it increases another 18 as you go up from that. So the research is crazy on it. We know that we can save over 500,000 lives and over $160 billion a year if we fix out one issue. We would just eat more whole foods. So if you get nothing else from this webinar today, eat more whole foods, have at least a major salad a day, get rid of the processed foods, and major things will happen to your benefit. One of those factors is sugar. We know that the average American consumes over 60 pounds of sugar annually. This is extremely high, and it used to be much lower than that. And so we know that the sugar intake is causing a lot of the problems that we have. And finally, the most important thing you can do is make sure that besides eating healthier, that you deliver the nutrients from the food to the cells in the body. In other words, your body doesn't run on carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Your body runs on what carbohydrates are broken down to, glucose, what proteins broken down to, amino acids, what fats are broken down to, fatty acids. That's what your body runs on. But in order to get them from that macronutrient, protein, carb, and fat down to the micronutrients, right, the amino acids, glucose, and fatty acids, your body, you need enzymes. And enzymes are in raw food. That's what's in an apple, and it starts to rot when you set it out. The enzymes are working on it. When you eat food with enzymes, it digests the food that takes them down to the nutrients your body can use. But when we eat cooked and processed food over 118 degrees that's been cooked, over that temperature, the enzymes are destroyed. So now our body has to do all the work. That's what makes us tired after we eat. That's what causes a lot of disease today, because we don't break the fats down properly. It causes heart disease. We don't break the proteins down properly. It causes arthritis. You can kind of see the situation there just from not digesting our foods. I want you to digest your food. They're in raw food. We take them out when we cook them. Your life is inversely proportionate to your rate of how fast you deplete your enzymes. So you don't want to deplete your enzymes. How do you do it? Eat more raw food. Add back to the enzymes when you do eat cooked food, okay? Because it's kind of like a bank account. You're going to add to the bank account when you eat raw foods. You're going to take out of the bank account when you eat processed and cooked foods. And when that bank account's empty, you have problems. If you empty your bank account to digest fat, there's heart disease, right? As we just mentioned. So we want to keep that bank account full. Eat more raw foods, add back the enzymes when you do eat cooked foods. That's where the digestion formula comes in. We know that the research is strong on it. These are foods that have enzymes in it. That's oranges. Here's a cabbage on the left that's raw, and then here's one on the right that's cooked. The enzymes have been destroyed. The life force has been destroyed. The person on the right there eats a raw food or whole food diet. You can see the energy coming from them, that their presence is there, right? They can become more present because of it. And the person on the other side, that their presence isn't very strong because they're eating so much cooked and processed food. So digestion is a key to that. We're going to kind of put it together in a bundle for you to understand. That's our main formula that we've used for over 3 decades. The #1 selling digestive formula that we have, and it's because it's loaded with every enzyme to digest every food. Is it better than eating raw food? No. Eat more raw food. But when you don't, take digestion. That's simple. Okay, you don't want to take digestion? Good. Eat more raw food. Okay. All right. So let's move on. Oh, it does have the enzymes in it for gluten intolerance, lactose intolerance, indigestion, heartburn, all that stuff. So we did put a very specific one in there to help with people with gluten also. That is new, that we put in the last year or two. top 3 benefits: you eliminate bloat and allergies. All bloating is undigesting your food. Your body saying, hey, we didn't digest our food. Yahoo, we're giving you some gas and some indigestion, some bloating. Digest your food and you won't have these terrible side effects, because we really want the food to be digested. And seeing some of the comments come over, appreciate it, Stephen. Digestion is a big difference for our whole family, and that's one of the reasons the new product is going to be launched next month at Homecoming. Can't give it away, but it's going to help with that too for your whole family, so you're going to be excited about it. Eat more raw food, eat more raw food, eat more raw food, and then just take it when you need to, but when you eat cooked food. Eat less processed food, deliver more nutrients. It's a big factor in our family. It's one of the reasons that we try hard to stay fit. And it's a little bit maybe easier, some people think, the most, because it's consistently eating right, consistent exercise, and consistently digesting our food. Okay. All right. So the key is that, are there people that show that it is beneficial to eat less processed foods that deliver more nutrients? Absolutely. You've seen it in our family. You see it in our speakers, the people that work with us, for us every day. You'll see it in our clients that we work with, people that seek us out that are billionaires, saying, hey, I realize I need to take my energy to the next level. I'm not digesting my food well enough. Something's going on. I'm craving the wrong foods. They need to get their flora under control. And this is the exact program that I'm going to share with you right now that we put on those. It's the same program we use with professional teams, the Phoenix Suns, the Miami Heat, the San Antonio Spurs. Just think about it. If you're a professional athlete and you digest your food better, you're going to have more energy. If your microbiome is strong, you got positive thoughts coming, serotonin, you're able to be able to not crave the things, the bad foods as much. You're going to perform better. And so you're going to have more high performance moments. Now, most of us are not professional athletes, but I want to be able to have that type of energy and vitality. And the secrets we use with them, me and you should be using too. Okay. So over 1 million people at this point over the last 30 years have improved their digestion by taking our formulas, and specifically optimal digestion. So I just wanted to reemphasize to you how powerful that concept is, that our personal family, staff that we work with, the clients that we work with, and over 1 million people understand the importance of this, and I hope that you do too. Now, once we understand the secret of replenishing our flora and eating healthier, digesting it with the enzymes, how do we succeed at it? How do we, that's great information, Doug, but okay, I'm just going to try to eat more raw food and, maybe take my enzymes, and sounds like some probiotic thing, but really what's going to help me truly have success this year when I haven't had it in the past? Or if you've had it in the past, didn't sustain it, or say you're healthy and you want to go to the next level. What do we do? What is the plan? What is the program? And so let's go through it right now. Goals are set by everyone. Okay. Think about it. In the next couple of days, there's going to be people setting goals all over the world, billions of people setting goals, but very few are going to stick with them. So goals are not the answer. It's the systems you put in place to follow that will determine whether you succeed or not. The system. So let's talk about a system you can put in place that can guarantee or give you a better chance at having success. Okay. And that's really what it comes down to, is systems are more important than goals. Okay. Living an optimal lifestyle for at least 21 days can create new habits and reprogram your flora. Why? Because we know that the human tongue has taste buds that live on the average of 10 days. And if we can go through 2 sets of taste buds, then all of a sudden your cravings will change, because your taste buds are going to be craving these foods that you put in it over those 20 days. Also, it'll give a chance for your probiotics, the friendly flora, for the bad guys to get gone, and for you to be able to re-inoculate, to fill up the bowel, if you would, with the friendly bacteria that's going to crave healthier food. So we're going to help with the cravings of the mouth with the taste buds. We're going to help with the gut. And that's why it's a 21-day challenge. And the 21-day challenge is really, really simple to understand, and actually pretty easy to follow. We've had thousands of people do this program, and it's changed their life. And so let me share it with you. Basically, you're going to get a booklet, and in the booklet, it's going to let you know, look, we're going to do these things. We're going to not drink sodas and white flour. We're going to limit our sugar intake to 50 grams a day. You just have to look at the things you're eating. You don't have to count fresh fruit. You're not going to eat fried foods. You're going to eat more raw foods on the daily. And what that one means is have at least one salad a day, more raw food, get regular exercise on the daily, take the right supplement that I'll share with you, and then any other thing that you want to commit to for those 21 days. And this is what the calendar looks like. The calendar comes and it shows the white flour, the no carbonation. So each day you're going to check off that box. I did it today, so I check it off, I check it off, I check it off. And each day you're going to do all 8 of those things, and your goal is to make it through the 21 days. Now, if you want to give yourself, hey, there's going to be 2 boxes that I'm going to give myself that I don't have to worry about and check off, then that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. Say, look, I know me and I'm going to do it all, but except for there's going to be 2 times that, I'm going to go to a party or do something and maybe have a little bit of cake or whatever it might be, white flour or a soda or something. And so 2 times out of the whole 21 days, okay, you allow yourself that. It's called the 21-Day Blitz Challenge. The booklet that comes to you, hard copy booklet, right, not just digital, will come to you and it'll explain everything. You'll say, why not carbonation? Why not fried foods? Why not? Why only 50 grams of sugar? And you'll get those detailed explanations in there along with the chart to check off each day. And so in it, you'll also get the Flora Blitz pack, and this is the pack that has the friendly bacteria in an extremely high dose, 100 billion CFU. So 100 billion, you know how big a billion is, 100 billion bacteria in every little pouch, and you're going to have one of those pouches, little sachets every day. So you take 100 billion good friendly bacteria that's going to help you crave the right food every day. It's one of the secrets to the program. Remember, your body is made up 50% mainly of bacteria. So we're going to reprogram it by reprogramming the bacteria, getting the healthier food coming in. That bacteria that you're putting in is going to be raised on the healthy foods. And so they're going to crave healthy foods. It's going to get you over your cravings. It's going to create a positive mindset because you're creating more serotonin, and you're going to be able to achieve and reach your weight loss, fat reduction goals on the program. It's going to reduce your risk of disease overall, like we've mentioned, and increase your quality of life. This is what it looks like. It comes in a cool little bag. You get the booklet, you get Flora Blitz, that's the 100 billion CFU, that's the secret. And then you get the digestion to take when you eat cooked food, and you put it in this little fun little pouch that you take. And I have mine wherever I go. And so you have the pouch and you open it and you take the digestion enzymes and take them whenever you eat cooked food, hopefully not too often on the 21 days. Okay. And so the booklet goes through all those details as I've mentioned to you. And the key with the program is also to commit to exercising consistently with it. And that's what I want to share with you. One other thing tonight, and then we're going to open up for lots of questions and answers and some studies that hopefully some of you are interested in, but I don't want to bore you in the main meat of the message today. And so one of the other things that is important that I've noticed, and in fact, this is how I started off in the health industry. I actually started off working my way through school by being a personal trainer. And there's a quote that says that our chief want in life is someone to help us do what we can. And I realize that, and the research bears it out, that if you have someone that's holding you accountable, that knows what they're doing to design your exercise program, your nutrition program, and you have to be accountable to, that you have a greater chance, sometimes 100, but at least 80 to 90% greater chance of sticking with the program than if you didn't have a companion or a trainer to help you. So we created Optimal Health Trainer. This is here in our office. It's a trainer program that basically you sign up for it, and then you're able to have a personal trainer set you up on our app. Our app is customized, and they make a workout for you based on the days you can work out and where you can work out, at home or at the gym. We'll make a workout for you. And as you do it, it comes up that day. So if you need to exercise, here's exercises you do, and you follow them. And it's attached to us in real time. So we see it. You can message the trainers and they'll message you right back. And it's really, really, really cool. And then also we can do the nutrition and recommend the nutrition for if you want something above and beyond the 21-day challenge rules. In other words, you want specific eating plans and meal plans and recipes and all that. That's all part of the program. So you can hire a trainer that does all of your training and your nutrition. So trainer and nutritionist. It's a great, great program. My personal clients that we do that and a lot of other things for pay a lot more for it than what we're having the patients and the public pay for, and the doctors. It's a $300 a month program for you, and you get the trainer with the exercise program, and then you purchase the products and the other services your doctor wants you to be on. So, but the $300 is basically your cost to have the trainer design the program in conjunction with your doctor's recommendations and the nutrition plan. The nutrition plan many times is the key too, to have that extra with it. Okay, so really, really cool. Hope that's exciting to you. These are some of the trainers. Myself, I help oversee it. You'll see Nevaeh here next to my son Braven in the black shirt and the white shirt there. She's one of our main trainers, and Cole, also one of the main trainers at work. Both of them work full time, and the rest of us help out and design and go to the meetings to oversee and make sure the programs are being made correctly. So I want to give you guys the ability to take advantage of this. But before I do, I want to tell you, don't have to buy anything ever. I hope you enjoy the webinars. I'm going to always give you tips and tools and tricks that you can use without ever purchasing anything. The purchasing things is if you feel it'll help you. Like, I'm a big fan of you at least doing the 21-day challenge with the Flora Blitz. That's really hard to do on your own, the Flora. But a lot of these tips and tricks, as far as the foods and the things we talk about, a lot of you can just take that information and apply it in your life, and I hope that you do. But for those of you that are wanting the program, right now you can get it for 20% off the 21-day blitz. It's the booklet, it's the Flora Blitz product that lasts throughout the program, the digestion, the pouch, all of that. You can call the office now, the 1-800 number. It's 1-800-890-4547. Or you can use the code STAR20, or those of you that are on this because your health professional asked you to be on it. A lot of the health professionals have them in their clinic already that you can just go and get them from them, or they can order them for you. If you'd like, they can do that for you. So just make sure when you call, let us know what health professional you are with, and so we can make sure to thank them. And the 21-day Blitz Challenge is 20% off. It's a great, great deal. The cost of it, what's the 20% off cost? Can you look that up real quick and let them know? And I think it's like 20% off the 110, I believe. And then also, this doesn't happen very often. We're especially this time of year because it's our busy time of year. But for this webinar only, we're doing 20% off the Optimal Health Trainer. So it's not the $300 a month, it's 20% off that. And make sure you mention to the trainer you're on the webinar, and it's available for the next day. So how do you do the trainer? Just call the office and they'll hook you up with a consult call with the trainer. As long as you get that call scheduled, it doesn't have to be before tomorrow night at midnight. But if you schedule the call by before tomorrow night, it can be for next week or whatever, you'll be able to get that discount, that 20% off also, which again, usually prices go up this time of year just because everyone's on it and we have a limited amount of people that we can take on the trainer and nutrition program. So do you need to do Optimal Trainer? No. Do you need to buy the other products? No. There are things to help speed up the process. You don't have to take the Flora. You can eat fermented foods and just get off the processed food, and eventually your microbiome will change and be able to switch over. So you absolutely don't. These are just things that we've put in place, that we've used technology to be able to speed the process up dramatically, that we can get that microbiome changed out. You can get over your cravings quicker. You can have someone design a program for you, hold your hand. You can start right now. You can stay consistent. There helps. You need to do it based on your willpower, what you know you will do. Look at last year where you succeeded, where you failed, and then decide from there. If we can help you, again, please, either your health professional that referred you to this can help you with it, or you can call in right now or use the code. Okay. And so it's $88. So it's only $88 for the 21-day Blitz Challenge with that discount. Super, super crazy deal. You can go to OHS for life with the number 4. So OHS, the number 4 life.com/focus. So let's do that again. OHS for life. So OHS, the number 4 life, OHS4life.com/focus. And that will get you in on that deal also. Or just call the office, 1-800-890-4547. Really simple. Okay. So I'm going to go into some questions and answers right now. And I want to give you my favorite quote, one that I speak everywhere and anytime I talk. And it's the more you crave something, the more your cells vibrate that frequency into reality. And what I mean by that is, if you really crave optimal health, you want to be there for your family, you want to get rid of the excess body fat, you want to move better, you want to have less pain, you want to live a longer, higher quality of life. If you truly do, I want you to crave it, like I really, really want that. And if you truly do, your cells will start vibrating that frequency and lead you to the right program. And it might be why some of you are on the webinar tonight, is because you were led to this program, because you were craving something in your life. You want to get over the hump. You don't want to give in to your cravings. You want to exercise consistently. And hopefully there's something we shared or program we can provide to you to accomplish that. The healthier your presence, the more you can be present. And that's my new quote that I really love, because the healthier your presence, the more you can be present. And man, if you haven't experienced that before, it's so true that you can be there. I have a new grandchild, to be there to be present, because I'm not aching and I don't have pains, and I can be, my presence is better, it's healthier. I can be more present. I can enjoy those moments that truly are the key to life, that are truly the key to life. And so I really appreciate you this time of year being here on this webinar. We questioned to doing it because of family and everyone being so busy, but have so many of you on here. Thank you so much. I'm going to open it up for questions and answers for a few minutes, and then we'll let you all go. Let's see. Question, Tanika, how is this sustained after the 21 days? Do I continue to take the Flora pack? Absolutely great question. Here's the answer. So there's two ways you can go about it. And here's what I recommend is you do the 21-day blitz. Okay. You've created some new habits, and then you take a look. Do I have more body fat I need to lose? Do I have a way to go on really understanding these foods? And you'll just know innately what you want. You can keep going just on the 21-day challenge principles. In other words, you don't have to buy anything else. You can just keep going on the food and keep checking off, right? Those things, or you can double down and you do it again. And in that case, I just order the Flora Blitz pack, right? You don't need to order the whole kit. And you order the Flora Blitz pack and you keep going on it. Now, what I've noticed is things have changed. Gosh, it's sad, but it's true. Is that when I first created this program, 21 days is all most people needed, 90% of them, and their habits had changed and everything was great. And they just continued on eating healthier, and everything kept going great. And as long as they took their digestion enzymes and a good multivitamin, their flora level stayed up, because they weren't killing their bacteria by eating, drinking a lot of carbonated drinks and stuff. So that was the truth back then. Now it is different. I usually have people do it 2 to 3 times in order to have it really kick in. And that's why we're creating an app called the 63 for Me app. That it'll be an app that you can follow this on for 63 days, because we've noticed it usually takes more than 21. So it's up to you if you want to continue on and just purchase like the product and then you continue on with it, which is again much cheaper to do. Or if you just want to follow the principles, the eating principles. So the changes will happen. It'll become much easier the second time and the third time, to where it's just a lifestyle, and then you won't have to do anymore. You're just naturally eating that way. Okay. And when you do have those treat meals, you can jump right back on and not crave and go down this spiral, because your friendly bacteria still are there. And they're like, oh, this bad food, it was just this one time. Let's kick it out, and it keeps craving the healthier food. It's only what you do consistently that causes the problem. Okay. So hopefully that helps you. And the best way to do it is to get on with the trainer. Do the optimal health trainer. I can't emphasize it enough. And I've never met anyone successful. Listen to this. I'm not joking. I've never met anyone successful. And I know you got to define success, but if you define success in whatever profession they have, that they are succeeding at an extremely high level, or say with family, whatever it is. But in the case of like even millionaires and billionaires, I've never met one that didn't have a personal trainer and didn't have a system in place for their health. And so I guess I have to take that back. I met a few, but they hired us. So basically they understand the importance of that. So I recommend that. That's a long answer. Continue on it. You can continue how you go on based on budget. Okay. But the training program will help you, because once you've done 21 days, the trainer will keep you on the nutrition program, and then they can talk to you about the supplements if your doctor's, recommending them to you, or wanting us to help, whatever it is with that, and take care of it from that angle. Why do some companies claim that you have to refrigerate probiotics, but you don't have to with optimal health systems? Thank you, doctor. Here's why. Is back in the day when we first found out the importance of probiotics came on the market, and they were you take and you use a fermentation process and you grow the friendly bacteria. Okay. And they did that, and they said, well, dang, they die in heat and they die in acidity, so we can't ship them without killing them. And then when people take them orally, they get destroyed in the gut. And they're right. They're right. And yet people still went out and sold them. So a lot of the health food stores in that would get them sent to them from the factory, refrigerated. Then they have refrigerators at the health food store, and you opened it up and you took it home, put it in the refrigerator, then you open it, put it in the refrigerator. And that really was the only way you could do it, but you still have most of it destroyed in the gut. Then Dr. Kim Shahani, my original mentor from the University of Nebraska, was the first person ever to create he had a patent on it, to show that if you used a cryogenic process, you took the friendly bacteria, you put them in a cryogenic state, right? Kind of a mini freezing state. And then you also use a form of a vitamin C with it. So they have basically food while they're in that state, that they could withstand temperature. So you don't have to, you just keep them at room temperature. You don't want to heat them to 120 or anything like that, but you can keep them at room temperature and they stay alive, they're dormant. And then once you add water, and Dr. Shahani said the other ingredient, love, but he meant warmth. If you add water and warmth to them, then all of a sudden they become active again. So you take them, they go through the esophagus and the stomach, the acidity, they make it through the acidity, they get in the colon and then in the large intestine and small intestine, and they open and they implant, and you get that benefit. And we've done tracer studies, we know the research on it. So that's how come now you don't have to refrigerate them. But does it cause harm to refrigerate them? No. Will they last longer? Absolutely. But we're talking the difference between 1.5 years and 2 years or 3 years, that type of thing. You should be long gone by then if you buy the probiotics. So our probiotics are patented. Our probiotics are heat stabilized and they're acid stable. So that's why these products work so well compared to others you buy in the regular stores that are out there. That's why these aren't in the stores, and they're just available that way. Okay. So last question, we're going to take it just a few minutes over the hour. Let's see. How are the good bacteria? Another question about how they're maintained after the 21 days. How the good bacteria are maintained after the 21 days is that once the friendly bacteria is built up, we're supposed to eat fermented foods. And in America, we don't, right? Other countries do. In Japan, it's miso soup, sauerkraut in Germany, kimchi in Korea. And so it's important that you have at least maybe some of the real yogurt, and you put your own berries in it, sweeten it, don't sweeten it with sugar. You eat those. Try to have some type of fermented food on the day. Kombucha is another fermented food that gives you the probiotics. You just want to stay away from the things that destroy your friendly bacteria. And so if you're going to be high stress, if you're going to have carbonation once in a while, things that are acidic, a lot of red meat, they destroy the friendly bacteria. So the answer is you're going to need to continue to add back the bacteria in a supplement form if you don't eat a lot of fermented foods. Now, the digestion formula has probiotics in it. So unless you really abuse your gut, once you've done the 21-day challenge, or at least maybe do it twice with the Flora Blitz, the high dosage Flora, you should be able to go off that and just take digestion. And digestion has the probiotics and the enzymes to keep you going. They're not enough to re-inoculate the bowel if you went on an antibiotic or did something really crazy to destroy your friendly bacteria. You need to take the Flora Blitz again, like if you're sick or something like that. But for the most part, you can just continue with the digestion. So hopefully that answers it. Let's see. I think that's it. Let me just close in. Thank you so much, all of you staying on this long. We really deeply, deeply appreciate it. And call into the office if we can help you in any way, even if it's any questions on some of the information that's here. Again, you don't have to purchase anything, but if you do, big discount for you right now to give you incentive to get going for the new year. My final recommendation, 21-day Blitz, Optimal Health Trainer. That should be your commitment if you want to go fully into the new year, to have accountability, to be able to do it with the least amount of cravings, to be able to give your body that fighting chance. So good luck. Have a healthy new year. And remember, whatever you do, keep chewing.